For people the world over, there is nothing quite as refreshing, nor as relaxing, as a perfectly brewed cup of tea. And when I say the world over, I am not being hyperbolous, as tea, in its variety of forms, is the second most widely consumed beverage in the world, losing out only to water. Although a large number of people attribute tea drinking as a widely English pursuit, tea itself is thought to have originated in China, where it was consumed as a medicinal drink. It was introduced to the Portuguese, who had trade routes with China, in the 16th century, became popularized in England in the 17th century, and was finally introduced to India in order for the British to compete with what they considered the Chinese monopoly on an incredibly marketable product. Although a number of different drinks are known as tea, true teas are produced from the leaves of the plant Camellia sinensis, and the type of tea that is produced is determined by how the leaves are processed after they are harvested. As soon as the leaves are picked, they begin to wilt and oxidize, unless they are immediately dried. The longer the leaves are allowed to oxidize, the darker they become, as their chlorophyll breaks down and an increasing amount of tannins are released. This darkening is stopped by drying the leaves at one of several specific ages. There are at least 6 types of teas that are commonly produced throughout the world, depending on the processing involved. White tea, the most delicate, is allowed to oxidize for the absolute minimum time possible. Green tea is dried after a brief period of time, but enough for some oxidization to take place. Black tea, or red tea as it is known in China, is given the longest oxidization time, with the most tannins of any tea. Fermented tea is essentially black tea that has been allowed to ferment after processing. Yellow tea shares its oxidization time with green tea, however, the process of drying it is significantly slower. Oolong teas can have a wide variety of oxidization levels, from 8 to 85%. However, what makes these special is that the leaves are rolled and twisted, producing a variety of flavors depending on the method. Regardless of the variety of tea that you drink, however, it is certain that it will carry with it a variety of health benefits. For as long as we have been drinking tea, some 4,700 years, we have been aware of these personal boons to our bodies, with the Emperor of the 5 Grains, Shen Nung, claiming that it could treat a number of conditions, including tumours, abscesses, and lethargy. More recently, several studies have been carried out, confirming that tea contains a large number of antioxidants. But, more interestingly, it also contains theanine, a compound that has various psychoactive properties, with but a few of these including the ability to reduce stress, improve cognition, and, when added to antipsychotic medication, reduce the symptoms of schizophrenia, amongst an incredible number of other effects. Finally, then, one should learn how to brew the perfect cup of tea. While most people would assume that this is a simple case of pouring boiling water over some dried leaves, this could not be further from the truth. In reality, both the temperature of the water required, as well as the brewing time, changes drastically from tea to tea. If you are making black tea, certainly, boiling water is best, and it should be brewed to your preferred strength. Green tea, on the other hand, will not tolerate water any hotter than 80 degrees Celsius, and you should never brew it longer than 3 minutes. White tea is slightly less tolerant of temperature, with 75 degrees being preferred, although brewing times of up to 5 minutes are allowable. Of course, as with all things, this is still a matter of personal taste. I know some people who like their green tea to be burnt or overbrewed, presumably because their existence has been blackened in some way. I cannot think of any other reason to ruin such a beautiful drink. Hey everybody, thank you for making it to the end of another one of my videos. I personally could not be happier with how that went, and I'm pretty sure that you agree. If I'm right, you should click the like button, which is just down here, and you should also click the share button. It can be found down there too, and there's one up here somewhere maybe? Anyway, if you would like to watch last week's video on a topic completely different to this one, you should click in the area that is over here. If you want to subscribe to my channel and be notified whenever I post anything, you should click over here. Anyway guys, I will see you next week.